So when we say you are in samsara, we are saying you are on a treadmill type of life. You're getting all the exercise, but you're not going anywhere. Samsara is treadmill. It gives you the whole experience, you know, your muscles tone up, cardiovascular exercise, everything of running, but you don't go anywhere. So when we say you're in samsara, this is the statement that's being made, you're not getting anywhere. Okay, run, experience the run, but you must also understand the beauty and the safety of a treadmill. Yes? You can experience all the experience of running. If you want, you can turn on the video and even run through a forest and do all that. But as you can do this, actually some people I've seen in some homes, they've done it, it's like all three walls of the exercise room are screens and they have the experience of forest, running, tigers come, elephants come, they're running through everything, petting the tigers like this. See, just look at the safety of it, because… No, I want you to get this is the nature of your life, because largely 99% of your life is psychological, it's in thought and emotion. That's why cinema is so beautiful, because without being beaten, you can actually go through a fight. Without getting depressed, you can go through a love affair and a breakup and reunion and breakup and death and everything. And in the end, you can get up and walk out. Because largely, for most human beings, 99% of their life is happening only as a psychological drama. When the same drama is extended outside, it is even better. And your own psychological drama is being directed by a lousy director. Sometimes, some movies are pretty well directed, some. Little better direction, more professional touch to the direction of the psychological drama. What's happening on the screen is just the drama that's happening in your mind, isn't it? So anyway, it's a psychological drama. This is what samsara means. It is cyclical. It is a combination of physical and psychological process. So when we say spiritual, we are seeing how to come out of this cyclical process. If you really remembered, if you can really see the cyclical nature of your own body, of your own mind, of the events that are happening in your life very clearly, the urge to go beyond that is natural, isn't it? Only because you're in the cycle and you have a short memory span and you have forgotten yesterday you went through the same cycle, it seems to be okay. Whatever is psychologically pleasant or unpleasant or exciting for you, you must understand, if you distinctly, if you have a memory which brings back life in a video format, not in the form of words. You went to your party day before yesterday, this party memory just there, bright and alive, every moment as if it's a living thing. Now, the inclination go to the next party will not exist within you. That party, you cull it down into words. The experience is culled down into words and a certain conclusion and maybe a philosophy around it. Now it'll keep you in samsara. Every day you have to go to the same place. Every day same stupid things. You drink the same things, you eat the same things, the same conversations. Whole life it'll keep you engaged because you're culling down experiences into ideas. You're culling down experiences into conclusions and concepts. So these things will keep you going. So the first step that we took with Isha Yoga or the inner engineering process is to break these concepts and simply learn to respond to life the way it is right now. If you simply start responding, suddenly you will see things that you responded to yesterday have already become old in your experience and you don't want to go through the same things over and over again. You have a longing to go beyond the cycle. So when this longing to go beyond the cycle or the samsara happens within you, now we are saying, you're mukti inclined. This is not some, oh, I want to attain mukti because you were born in this country and the word has floated around and you pick up the word from the airwaves around you and say, I want to attain mukti. Mukti is not a word, mukti is not a concept. If you transcend all cyclical movement of life, physiological, psychological, karmic cycles of life, then you're moving towards or you're inclined towards what we are referring to as mukti. It is not a concept, it is not a geographical place, it is not an ideology, it's beyond all that you can see through your physical and psychological prism. Time itself, as we go right now, it's very different from person to person. It once happened. A bomb. Now, I'm not talking about anatomy, okay? Usually in America, this word used to be used, but now a more politically correct word is a homeless person. So you will see, somebody will be sitting, I need $10 for my beer. At least they're straightforward, I like that. He's not pretending to be blind. See, even among beggars, we've lost integrity in this country. One who can see is pretending to be blind and one who has hands is learned to keep his hand like this out of yogic practice and say he's doesn't have an arm. No, you will see people sitting in America with a board, I need $10 for my beer. I want $2 for my coffee. So at 2 a.m. in the morning, he walked up to a Beverly Hills home, a rich home, and leaned on the doorbell. You have this experience, somebody comes and leans on your doorbell, keen. So, he just kept it up. So, the man in the house got up, put on his silk dressing gown, came and opened the door all disheveled and goggy and looked at this guy. Said, hey, what are you doing? Why are you ringing the bell at 2 a.m.? What's your problem? So he said, I want $10. He said, what? For bloody $10 at 2 o'clock in the morning? You're pressing my doorbell? This guy said, see, I don't tell you how to do your business. You don't tell me how to do my business. So it depends, what's your business? Accordingly, time. We don't know whether you're running a breakfast place or a bar. Accordingly, time, isn't it? You will see somebody in the neighborhood or in your own home, or maybe other people in your home are experiencing this because of this bloody yoga. You get up early and they want to do the Kala Bhairava stuff too. But they are party people. They come back at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, stumbling, knocking down furniture, and you want to sleep early and morning. There's a clash between how we manage time. What time means to different people, depending upon what's your business in the world. if your business is essentially, if you understand, your ideas of time management are all false. There is no such thing as time management. It's slipping away for all of us at the same pace. There's only one dimension of life which is in your hands. That is, you can manage your energy, you can enhance it to phenomenal levels, because that which is the basis of this life, I've been referring to you as not life, I want you to… You're missing the language, I think. I didn't refer to you as life, I said you are a piece of life. Not a very complimentary because what is cosmos is a living life. See, this air is life. Otherwise, if you breathe it, life happens, if you stop it, it goes. If this is not life, could it support this life, I'm asking? The food that you eat, the earth that you walk upon, the water that you drink, if it is all not life, would it support this? The very atmosphere of this planet is held in this vast space. If this space was not life, could it nurture a bubble of life that we call as this planet? It is a living life, it's a living cosmos. You just captured one bubble like this. You just formed a bubble around this life which is always there everywhere, and now you think this is me. Actually, all you have done is, you built a bubble around life that is always there. So you are trying to enhance the bubble, the structure of the bubble, all the time in the form of education, morality, ethics, this one, that one, exercise. Everything is about strengthening and enhancing the bubble. I am not saying you should not. But the bubble becomes bigger, not by enhancing the structure of the bubble, but by enhancing what is inside the bubble, isn't it? If you want a big bubble, what's the biggest bubble you blew when you were a kid? This much? Huh? These days they have soap oils where you can blow this big bubble, you know. When we were children, we just mixed our own detergent soap, it only came this big, sometimes this big. Now children are blowing this big bubbles because the soap oil is made for that. But it is about how much you capture inside the bubble. Just because the bubble structure is good, it can't be big, it will drip. It is how much air you captured in it which will determine the size of the bubble. So how much life have you captured is the question. This is a cosmos, a living cosmos. It is free. It's not like your gas prices or something. One cylinder has only 14.75 kilograms. If you put more in it, it'll burst in your face. Usually they put less in it because it's harmless. Just a little money transaction, you know. And anyway, I think you get 9 cylinders free or something, whatever. It is about enhancing what… You tell me, what is the basic ingredient of the bubble, the air inside or the soap? The air inside. This just gives it a structure. So the same for this, the earth that we have picked up, the karmic software that we have created is just the material, but it's the air inside. Now when I say make the bubble big, don't try to make the structure big. You know, the LPG is a good example. If you release the LPG gas, what is in one cylinder can occupy this hall. But it's… with how much pressure it's put inside, that much volume it takes. The same, with how much intensity are you packed with life, that much cosmos it will take. If you really pack it, you can pack the whole cosmos into this. When the Saptarishis asked Adiyogi, what is the nature of this cosmos? Where does it begin? Where does it end? How big is it? How vast is it? He just laughed and said, I can pack your whole cosmos into your mustard seed. If you can pack it into mustard seed, for you sure you can pack it into this, isn't it? You can contain everything here, depending upon your packing efficiency. So what you're trying to do in the morning is increase your packing efficiency so that if you sit here in the same body, what happens in somebody else's experience and what happens in your experience is phenomenally different because you are more intensely packed with life. You have to be on. First and foremost thing is, you must create an ambience of sweetness of emotion. This is devotion. That is a sustained sweetness of emotion. Oh, whom shall I fall in love with here? Believe me, even a child knows it's not going to work. So, whom shall I fall in love with so that I'll have sweetness of emotion? Believe me, nobody is reliable. You must trust me, I have 3 lifetimes of experience. Everybody is fine for off and on. Is there somebody who'll pour you with sweetness of emotion every moment of your life? There is no such human being. Even those who were married to supposedly gods, even they went up and down. Look at Parvati, look at Sati, look at Satyabhama, look at Rukmini, all up and down, more up and down than your wives and husbands. At least many of your spouses are feeling elevated because you're spending a lot of time in the ashram. Relief is a big thing. So, people believe with love affair they're going to become full of love. With marriage they're going to concretize this sweetness. Or once you have children, it's sweetness and sweetness. That's not the way life works. It happened one day. A freeloading young man who was coming back from his nightly party at 8 a.m. in the morning, bumped into his father, who was a rich stockbroker who was rushing to his brokerage office. Then the son, who was in a gay mood, said, "Have a great day, Dad." The father looked at him and said, "Thank you, my son, but why are you telling me this?" The son said, "Well, Dad, if you have a great day, I will have a great day." So, there are schemes inside schemes inside schemes. Okay, let's not go into that. But what devotion means is, you create a love affair that doesn't need outside assistance. Simply, you fall in love with something. You know, a lot of people have chosen to fall in love with God because steady. Men and women are not reliable, dogs die too soon. God, it's a very intelligent love affair because you can shape it whichever way you want, because a love affair is meaningful not because of what happens between two people, it's meaningful because of the sweetness that it fills you with. Now you're in love with a divine entity, if it is energetically active, it's even better because it's even responding. Or you have become receptive, to what is always on, but nothing can go wrong with the love affair because there is no expectation as to what the other should do. Once there is no expectation of what the other should do, this is a successful love affair. You agree with me? Love affair goes bad because somebody does not fulfill your expectations, isn't it? So you fall in love with an entity just for this. This is pure love, just for the love of it, not because of what you will get. So, always you're filled with sweetness. If the ambience of sweetness is there within you, the sadhana that you're doing will multiply in its fold. And the passage or the pathway becomes shorter, shorter and shorter, depending upon if you're joyful, if it is this long. If you're blissful, it'll become this long. If you're ecstatic, it'll become this much. The pathway becomes this long or this short because the ambience of ecstasy is on. I've had the misfortune of seeing so many people around me. I get them to a place where they're this close, but you leave them for one day, straight back. This is it's a misfortune of being a guru. Any number of times you bring people to so close, but when you get that close, you have to leave them there because it's after all, realization is yours, not somebody else's. You thought you brought them this close and anyway they will take the next step, but no. Because one of the biggest problems is the way you're educated, where there is no value for emotion, there's only value for the silly intellect that you carry, which creates any number of problems on a daily basis with just about everybody. You can't get along with anybody the moment you think you're reasonably intellectual, isn't it? And you cannot even get along with the source of creation because you're so intellectual, you're a world by yourself. You cannot live in the Creator's creation anymore, you're in your own creation. If you're in your own creation, this is not an achievement. Instead of being an existential being, you have become a psychological case. That's the transformation that's achieved. Is it a useless instrument? Not at all. It is useful, but it is supposed to make you realize this is not the way. It's good to multiply, add, divide, subtract. When I say add, divide, multiply, subtract, I'm talking about everything, about making money, getting married, multiplying into children, getting divorced, dying one day, all this. Everything is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, isn't it so? Yes or no? You don't like it. The arithmetic of it is just that. Either you do addition or subtraction or multiplication or division. With the physical world, that's all you can do. For this, intellect is great. Without it, you will not succeed in these chores that you have to do. But you want to know not bits and pieces of creation, you want a taste of Creator in your mouth, then this will slit your tongue into many pieces and you can't taste anything. So those of you who flickering like tube lights, one day bright and shining, another day boof, it's time. It's time to change the ambience. A silly intellect that's not worked for this many years, don't expect it's going to save you tomorrow. It will not. It's time Devotion is a powerful thing. It takes intelligence to recognize that if you… between your intellect and your emotion, if you look at it, maybe you don't have ecstasy in you, maybe you have no love in you, maybe you have no compassion in you. When you get angry at least, when you're angry, check which is a bigger force within you right now, emotion or intellect. That you must put it. Because what is strongest in you, you must use that. That is intelligence, isn't it? I want you to check it for yourself. Your intellect is a bigger force or your emotion is a bigger force. The only thing is, emotion can take different forms. It can take very sweet and wonderful forms, it can take absolutely nasty and horrendous forms. So first thing is to train it to take a sweet form, to take a beautiful form. Once it takes a beautiful form, your intellect will mean nothing to you, really. Everything that's worth knowing, you will know by embrace, not by conquest. Conquest is a wasteful effort. Because even if you conquer, you will still not achieve anything. If you conquer this world, what are you going to do? Are you going to spread yourself around the world? You'll still be in the same one place, isn't it? You can just look powerful in front of other people. Let's say you are Alexander the Great. You conquered half the world or the whole world. You are Alexander Great. You conquered the whole world. But let's say there are no people on the planet, nobody to clap their hands and say, you are great. You are sitting alone here, what will you do? I want you to imagine this. You got billions of dollars, but you're sitting alone here, what do? You need somebody to tell you you're great, you're great. You need idiots around you to tell you that you're fantastic, otherwise you'll feel horrible, isn't it? But if your emotions turn sweet, if you sit here alone, tears of ecstasy will come. In fact, you will want to be alone because it's too beautiful when you're alone. It's time to change the ambience because the sadhana that's been given to you in the form of the kriyas and the asanas, whatever, these are powerful forms. Your body and your energy is maturing, but your head is not maturing for a lot of you. This is a fact, I'm seeing every day. I see energy-wise, body-wise, things are maturing. This is not maturing, it's always in the way. It's time to do something about it.